So I've been wanting to make this snowflake wreath for so long now. I initially saw my friend Laura Grisham. She posted something like this, very similar to this, on her Facebook page. And I fell in love. So what I did, I ended up finding Michelle from Monkey's Creations. She did one very similar to this on her YouTube channel, and it was all gold, beautiful. She had a kit and everything. So I kind of went off of what she did, added my own colors, and then the center, though, that is from my friend Laura Grisham's paid tutorial on her Etsy shop. Okay, so I'm going to give you a link to Laura's paid tutorial. Now, what she does with her petals, she has completely different designs and things like that. And let me tell you, it is very difficult to come up with all these different designs. But I'm going to show you how I did that. I'm breaking open the wine because I'm so excited. I'm finally done with this, and I think this turned out fantastic, and I am so excited to show you. Let's get started. So for today's snowflake wreath, I'm going to be using a UITC round board. This is the small one. Okay, and then I'm using 3 different colors. I have white that has some iridescent in it. It is a wide foil mesh. I have the blue in the wide foil mesh, and then this is a white. This is also the wide foil mesh, but this has a laser foil. I don't know if you can see this, but oh my goodness, it looks like rainbow diamonds. It is absolutely beautiful. It's almost like a disco ball, okay? It is so shiny. I know the video pictures, nothing will do it justice. If you see this in person, you'll be like, oh my goodness. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I have several different petal styles for you. I'm going to set these aside, and with this I'm going to cut this into 10-inch pieces. Actually, all of my mesh I'm cutting into 10-inch pieces. I like using a wood burning tool just because number one, it keeps any fraying down. Even though most of these you're not going to see any edges, it's just easier to work with. Okay, so I'm going to use this wood burning tool, very used, and it's hot. But I have a chisel tip on here, okay? And I'm just going to cut it in 10-inch pieces. I'm just going to show you this one here, okay? And I'm just going to go slightly over 10 inches because this is actually, even though it says it's a 10-inch roll, it's actually about 10 and a half. And I want to make sure we have an actual square. Okay, and see, this didn't go all the way through the foil here. So I'm not going to pull on it. I'm just going to take my wood burner and just go through that. Okay, if you pull, you'll pull the foil out of the mesh, and then you'll have a terrible piece of mesh that you got to work with. Okay, going from Michelle from Monkey's Creations, what she did, like there's this row 1, row 2, row 3, and row 4. Okay, we are not going to use this row 1, just this row 2. Okay, so this petal is going to go on row 2, and I will show you real quick. I'm going to take one corner down to the other. Okay, so we have this here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of stretch this a little bit right here, take one corner, bring it down, then take the other side, bring it down, and then we have, I'm just going to put these side by side. I'm not going to cross it over or anything like that. I'm just going to bring it straight down. Then I'm going to get my 4-inch zip tie. I kind of want to make sure this comes to a point. Some people will let this kind of hang open like that. I want mine to come to a point. So I kind of pull on it. Even if I wanted to, if I had time, just put like a clothespin on there or something, just so you kind of train it to be at that point, okay? Now I got my 4-inch zip tie, and see where this corner comes down right here? These go down just about an inch below that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just pinch right there, kind of just above where that first corner comes down. And then I'll close my zip tie right there. Okay. And I want from this to the zip tie to be about 2 inches. From the bottom of these here to the zip tie to be about 2 inches. Okay. And then cut that off. Now, what I'm going to do though, you can put this on the board seam side up, but I'm going to turn this over. Okay, so see how this little hickey-do from the zip tie is up at the top? If we lay it down like this on the board, it's going to be in the way. So I want to move that over to either side. It doesn't matter which side, just kind of push it over to the side. That way it's not going to be in the way. Okay, so I'm back and I loaded up just that first row, okay, which is actually the second row of the form. I forgot to tell you, you want to cut off whatever you can of that to be like about an inch down. It's not going to be much, but see, I just cut that down just a little bit. Okay, now again, what I want to do, I want to have seam down. So I'm going to turn it around this way, and I'm just going to put it right inside and zip tie that shut. Okay, and I'm going to put these all the way around that outside. And just an FYI, I am not using any shared holes. I'm only going to use these main holes that are right next to each other. Okay, so for our next petal, we're just going to do the Star Trek petal, okay? I have this going side to side. I'm going to bring one corner down to the other, okay? And so I have this flat top on top here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this corner, kind of flip it over and bring it to the other corner, right along that long side. Okay. So from this point, what I like to do, I like to just get my finger underneath and my thumb and other fingers like on either side and just pull that up. And it almost looks like a shoe or something, okay? So then I'm going to take this right here and push it down and squeeze it together. I'm going to forgot to grab some zip ties. Okay, so I got some 6-inch zip ties for this one because it's a little bit thicker. And what I like to do, I like to measure how long they're going to be. Okay, and I want to measure them to be 5 inches long from the tip to where I put my zip tie. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's basically just below where that where we pushed it in, it'll be like just below that. I know a lot of people would much rather use rubber bands. If you want to use a rubber band, please go right on ahead. But I'll cut this, and then we will cut this excess off. Okay, again, I want you to see which holes I have these in. We just got them on these holes that are, if I show you from the back, just the regular holes that are on the board, okay? And then I'm just gonna put them right there, and it'll kind of go right in between these. We have this now. I mean, it's already beautiful and shimmery, but we got a long ways to go. So I have some more 8-inch zip ties, and what I'm going to do, now that I have these petals in, I'm going to load them up. I'm going to share that hole, okay, and then I'm going to come back through here, okay, and I'm going to preload this all the way around, and then I'm going to show you how I make our next petal. Okay, so for our next petal, I'm going to be using 2 of the white iridescent and 1 of this blue, okay? And we are going to do, it's kind of like a daisy chain petal, but I actually don't know the name of it. I don't know if there is a name of it, but I'm going to call it a keyhole daisy, just because it's going to be a little bit different, okay? So what we do, again, we turn it to the side. We're going to bring this down, okay? And what I'm going to do from here, take this corner and bring it up. Not all the way to the top. I'm going to leave at least a 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to fold it one more time. Again, not going all the way to the top, because once we fold it and everything, it will kind of peep out. So I like to leave it just a little bit of room right there. Okay. And then right there at that halfway point, we're going to fold it like that. Now, right now, I'm just going to use a chip clip and hold it together. Set that aside. We're going to do the exact same thing with the blue. Okay, I'm going to bring that down, up, and up one more time. Fold it. And I'm going to make sure there's one that's a folded side and this side has that double fold. I'm going to make sure we have just a single folded side up. Okay, I'm going to bring that around this one. And then clip it shut. Okay, now I'm going to do this white one on the outside. Same exact thing. Bring it down, bring the corner up and up. And then I'm going to just bring that around. Now I like to measure these. Once again, you know I like to measure all of my petals. I want to make sure they're uniform. So I'm going to measure this to be just over, I'd say about 5.5 to 6 inches. And there you go. Okay. So again, we got the double side, that's going to be in the back. But all the single folded sides, they're going to be in the front. And I'm going to cut this part off and we're ready to load. And when you load these, kind of snuggle them in between these other petals. And you want to make sure you got that single folded side up on top. With these keyhole daisies, you can see this kind of through there. So I love having that there. Okay, so this is looking so nice. Okay, so for this next petal, I'm going to be doing another Star Trek petal, but this one's going to be in this beautiful white laser foil. Okay, we're going to do the exact same thing. One corner down to the other. Take one side, bring it over. So we have that Star Trek symbol. Stick the finger under and push down. I'm using a 6-inch zip tie and bringing it to 5 inches. I'm going to cut off this excess and we're going to load these up. And again, I'm using the holes that are right there next to each other. Okay. Okay, so we have that. Now, one last petal, and it is just your regular daisy chain petal. And I'm going to do this regular daisy chain petal using the white iridescent. I'm going to do the same thing I did before with the keyhole daisy chain. Turn it to the side, corner down. Flip this up, flip it up again, making sure we don't go all the way to the edge. Fold it in half, and then I'm going to clip this together. Same thing with this one. Bring it up, fold it up, okay. So I'm making sure where I clip it is where it only has one fold instead of the double fold. Okay. Now this side, it really doesn't matter because this is going to be in the center. What I'm going to do, pull this apart. I'll take the clip off. I'm going to set this in and bring the other one around. That way we have a solid center. I'm going to take my zip tie. This is, well, 6 inches, a little bit easier to use. So I'm going to use a 6-inch. So from this point, I have my 6-inch zip tie, and I'm going to measure 5 inches. The other one, we were just about 6 long. We want to make sure we're only 5. Okay. I like to make sure I have everything in place before I tighten it down nice and good. Okay, so I'm going to cut that off, trim that up, and we're going to load these. And I forgot to show you, I am going to load this up in the shared holes once again. So right in between those, bring that up and load that in. Okay, and I'm going to do that on all 4 of these. Okay, and I'm going to load these up again, making sure we don't have that double side. We have that single folded side up. And nestle this in between those Star Trek petals. I am loving this. So we're done. Here we go. I just love all of that shimmer of all of this gorgeous mesh. That wide foil mesh is just absolutely gorgeous, and that laser foil on that white laser foil mesh, I'm telling you, these videos and pictures don't do it justice. It looks like diamonds. It's gorgeous. I hope you love it as much as I do. Again, the center is off of my friend's paid tutorial. Her name is Laura Grisham. I will put the link in the description. And also with her paid tutorials, she has different petal designs and things like that. So it's definitely worth checking that out. Okay? So tell me what you think. I would love to hear your opinions. What other colors could we possibly do? I would love to know. Cheers, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Patty Davis. I'm with Crooked Tree Creations, and I'll see you in our next video.